Jefferson Davis fled south after the surrender of Lee to Grant, but with Stoneman's raiders closing in, the Battle of Anderson was about to take place. The conflict rages next under the kudzu. Stoneman sent General Simeon B. Brown's 2nd Brigade and Colonel John K. Miller's 3rd Brigade into South Carolina with orders to capture Jefferson Davis. But it was not long before Brown and Miller's men became impossible to control, and they started pillaging and destroying property. On May 1st, a detachment of cavalry from Stoneman's raiders were marching near Williamston when they surprised a group of cadets that were heading from Greenville to the arsenal in Columbia, in what would be known as the Battle of Anderson. Realizing that the situation in the state was hopeless, the leaders of the state's 2 military academies, the Arsenal in Columbia and the Citadel in Charleston, met in Greenville and decided to increase admissions to the largest number possible. Under the leadership of South Carolina Governor Andrew G. McGrath, the directors ordered 1 cadet group to march to each school. Knowing that Stoneman's raiders were rapidly approaching Greenville from the north, the cadets assigned to the Arsenal left Greenville and immediately began to march to Columbia, following the railroad line to Belton. Under the command of Captain John P. Thomas and numbering 153 strong, the cadets were approached a few miles south of Greenville by Lieutenant John Francis Laneau of the Cadet Corps. Laneau entrusted the Citadel flag with the Arsenal Corps, and they flew it as their banner for the remainder of the march. Near Williamston, Thomas ordered a halt to allow his men time to rest. While most of the men slept, they were fired upon. The cadets awoke, surprised, but rallied around their newly installed flag and returned fire. The Union troops retreated. Thomas and his men regrouped and began to march again, reaching Belton on May 2nd. A roadside historical marker was erected in 1964 in Williamston in honor of the skirmish, and an annual reenactment takes place in Honeypath. The primary source of information on the battle was written by Captain Thomas in his History of the South Carolina Military Academy, which was published in 1893. After their encounter with the cadets, some of the Union troops turned their sights away from Jefferson Davis and toward nearby Anderson, South Carolina, where some say a hoard of Confederate gold was hidden. My name is Brian Scott, and I hope you enjoyed our special 2-part series on the Battle of Anderson. Join us next week as we uncover more hidden treasures under the kudzu.